Ready to start over?
Oh no.
Oh my gosh. We totally just screwed up. Okay, is it recording though?
Beats the hell out of me.
We did a good job though. What the hell? That was a trial run. Welcome to This Morning with Zach and
Jess.
This is the morning show where we like to talk about news, weird news, fun stuff. And this is our first episode. We just had our first camera breakdown. We think we're recording now, so we're all good. Right?
I sure hope so.
We recorded like 10 minutes of the show just to find out it didn't record anything. So that was cool, especially since we're both pretty nervous about being on camera. So awesome. Anyway, what should we talk about?
Today we're going to talk about tips for people moving to the state. First tip is...
don't move here. We don't want you here. We actually hate you. Like, seriously. In all actuality. Like, people think it's a joke. Like, oh, you're not from here? That's cool. No, like, people really don't like you here. So, that's tip number one. Now, if you have to move here, okay, whatever, we still hate you, but you can at least take these tips. Like, what we're talking about, driving, right?
Yep.
Driving. So, it used to take you how long to get to work?
About 10-15 minutes.
Yeah, and now it takes you...
about 30.
Yeah, it's crazy. And it used to take me, to get from where I live to Denver, it used to take me 20 minutes, and now it takes me anywhere from an hour to 2 hours to get to Denver. It's nuts.
And there's traffic on a Tuesday at noon. I mean, does nobody work anymore?
Right? Right? Everybody's shopping or something?
Yeah. Tuesday at noon.
Right.
There's stop and go traffic on the highway.
Oh, everybody's got to get lunch.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I did in my home state. Let's go. It's noon. Yeah, it's kind of sucks because we talked about this for 10 minutes before. Screwed it up with recording. But, what else did we say? Oh, we were talking about the fast lane, right? Yeah, so the number one tip for the Colorado natives and the veterans of the state, as well as you idiots that are moving here, is when there's 2 lanes or more, you have the slow lane, which is on the right-hand side, and then you have the fast lane on the left-hand side. If somebody behind you is going faster than you, just get over. You know? I don't understand how people don't understand this. You know, first of all, nobody's going the speed limit here anymore at all. You know, it's harder than hell to get anywhere. Nobody's going the speed limit, and then you're going the speed limit in the fast lane. The person in front of you is going like 15, and they won't move over.
Yep.
Like, what are you doing? You know, I'm trying to get to work. Like you said, does nobody work anymore?
Yeah. Well, they don't know the roads, so they drive like a snail.
Right.
Oh.
Can't you drive like a snail?
In the slow lane?
Right?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
And weather. Anytime it's raining, snowing, even just a little bit, not even anything, doesn't stick to the ground or anything, they drive like it's a blizzard. I mean, just rain, anything. They drive like they've never seen snow, never seen rain in their lives.
It's like 65 miles per hour, but everybody wants to go 15 so they don't crash their car. The snow's not even sticking to the ground. It's like as soon as we get moisture, everybody freaks out. And it was bad enough when we got moisture like snow in Colorado with the people who are used to it.
Yeah.
Because people already drive like idiots and maniacs. You know, you either get stuck behind someone who can't drive, and they drive super slow, or you get passed up and by some crazy guy in a four-wheeler who thinks he can, you know, take on the world, right? Yeah. But now, these people, like, they can't drive at all. You know? It's crazy. There's so many crashes all the time. I mean, there's crashes without snow now.
Yep.
It's nuts. I don't get it. But then we're going to talk about the, you know, politics, a little bit of politics. Here's my advice for all you newcomers coming to Colorado. If you're going to vote, I would suggest that you talk to a Democrat and a Republican, figure out how they like their state to be, how they want their state to be. We've worked a long time to get it the way we want it. We're still working on it just like everybody else. But don't just come here and vote certain ways to make things feel more like home. if you want to do that, you could just go home. That'd be the best way to get your way. If you want to come here and make this state more like home, get out of here. You know, come talk to some people who, you know, Republican, Democrat, both. Try and talk to everybody, get both perspectives, then make your decision. You know?
Our state's been working perfectly fine without you, and we don't need you to come in and change the way we do things.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just can't believe how many people are moving here. And you mentioned,
crazy.
Like, rental prices. Nobody can live here anymore.
Mm-mm. Prices have gone up hundreds of dollars in the past just few months.
Thousands for some.
Yeah. And they're building, luxury apartments. Well, what happens if you can't afford a luxury apartment? Then what? There's no place for you to live because all the lower end apartments are all taken because nobody can afford the luxury apartments.
Right? And then they raise the price of the lower end ones.
Yep.
Anyway.
Because
you know what I mean?
People have to live somewhere.
Right. So you have like 5 families living in a 1-bedroom apartment and they still can't afford it.
Yep.
It's nuts. But we heard that crazy story in, where was it?
Yellowstone.
Yellowstone. Yeah, so apparently they were foreigners, right?
Foreigners.
Yeah, they aren't from the state, they aren't from the United States, but they actually went to Yellowstone, and
it was a father and a son.
Right, they saw this baby buffalo calf, right?
Yep.
Saw a buffalo calf, and they thought it was cold. So who thinks of this? Like
people who aren't used to buffalo.
Right. Well, but the thing is like, okay, it's a wild animal.
Yep.
You know, I wouldn't even go to my neighbor's yard and be like, oh, that dog looks cold. He looks hungry.
Let me take him.
Let me take him. No, these guys went in, saw this calf, and thought it was cold. Too cold for this wild animal who lives there all the time and is evolved to live in these conditions. Too cold. They pick this thing up, put it in the back of their car, and then take it to the forest ranger and tell him, like, oh, it's too cold, we're concerned about it. And I can't, what would you, I mean, if you were the forest ranger, just like...
Yeah. Yeah.
What? You know, what is that in the back of your SUV, you know?
Yep.
What was, man, I hope they don't get their deposit back on their rental car, you know? Like, this smells like buffalo calf. What is that? But the saddest part about it is they had to put the animal down, right? That's what you're telling me?
Yep.
They put it down?
They had to put it down because once they took it back to the herd wouldn't accept it, and the calf didn't end up going and reuniting with the herd. All it did was try and go and address all the humans that were there looking at the buffalo herd, and it tried to go run through traffic and go up to every person that it saw because it was so used to the people. And it didn't reunite with the herd, so they had to end up euthanizing it.
That's so sad.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And the foreigners ended up getting cited. So.
But see, you know...
But it's not good enough.
You know, it's not good enough. I mean, this is, like, it's a living creature, you know? And it's not like it had a full life. You know, that's... it's one thing when you hear about, like, you know, deer or buffalo or whatever being hit by a car. Somebody comes, picks it up, and they eat it, and they use it, and it's lived a full life and things like this. But this is a baby animal, fresh in the world. Mm-hmm. And because guys are idiots and they don't think, they don't ask, they just do, all of a sudden it's gone, you know? It's sad.
They don't know about buffalo, you know?
Right.
They don't know anything like that. So they just come in and think that they can just do what they want.
Right.
By picking up this little calf thinking it's cold when they have no idea. Maybe they should have asked first. Hey, park ranger, is this animal cold? Should we do something? Instead of just taking things in your own hand, in a state you've never been, in a country you might have never been, and then ruining things.
But you think, you know, like, it's almost like poaching, you know?
Yeah.
It's like they wanted to take it for themselves and then they realized, oh, we can't do this. Mm-hmm. So they didn't want to get in trouble. Because they had the common sense to go to the ranger, but they could have gone to the ranger before, but they didn't do it.
Yep.
It's just sad, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But there's stupid people all over the world. All over the world. Like, there was those firefighters.
In Pennsylvania.
Right? Yeah. So, what is it, 4 or 5 firefighters decided, they're volunteer firefighters, right? They decided their careers weren't cool enough. So, they actually called in fake fire reports because they thought it was cool to ride in the
fire truck.
In the fire truck.
Yep.
Yeah.
And go on the calls.
Right?
Yep. They were probationary members, so they were there for less than 90 days, trying to make a career, I think, in the fire department.
Right? They need some excitement in their life. You know, like, what is this? You know, like, it's just funny to me. Like, what are you thinking? You know what I mean? And then, like we were talking about earlier, when we were talking about when you call 911, they have an address. You know, like 911. What's your emergency? Yeah. There's a fire. Oh yeah, your address is the fire department. All right, let's go. Woo! All right, we're here. Like, how exciting is that? You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I guess those guys are facing some charges or something.
Yep. They got suspended and they're getting in trouble for making false calls because they enjoyed the fire truck, basically.
You think they'd get in more trouble?
They called in 5 false alarms.
Yeah.
So they basically called saying, there's a fire at this location to 911. 911 calls the fire department and then they go out to this fake fire that they just called about.
Right. And then I wonder what everybody was thinking, you know, like...
There's no fire here.
Right.
Like, what happened?
Listen to the recording. Gosh, that sounds like Bill. Hey, Bill, this guy sounds like you. Screw it, there's a fire. Let's go. They're all excited about it, you know. It's crazy. I don't get it. So, now we're going to weather with Todd. Todd? This is nice. Are you having fun?
And there is.
What's the next story?
So now we say thanks, Todd. That was great,
I didn't look on the joke. Thank you, Todd, for that informative yet interesting weather report.
Looks like great weather out there.
Yeah. So, we both worked in customer service, you know, both at grocery stores, had experience with them. You know, I was reading some things about the most annoying things customers do. Is there one that comes to mind? Like, do you have one that's just completely annoying?
You know, anytime that they put their groceries on the belt and everyone thinks they're ready to check out, and then all of a sudden they're gone because they forgot something or they're not finished with their shopping. I mean, once you put yourself on the belt, you need to be completed with your shopping. We're not going to sit here and hold our lives and everybody's lives behind you in line just so you can go run and get your eggs that you forgot.
They're probably not from Colorado. You know, like, I just don't get it. Oh, here's a good storage space where everybody comes and walks through. You know what I mean?
Yep. Let me just set my shut down here because I was too dumb to grab a basket.
Right? A lot of people don't get it, but it's hard enough to work in a grocery situation or any situation where you're a cashier or customer service. You know, it's hard enough to do that. You have the stress from your boss, you have the stress from the job. You know, some of those aspects are pretty physical. So you have all that weighing down on you. And then you have that annoying customer who comes in, you know what I mean? They're just like either a complete jerk or they say the stupidest things. Mm-hmm. You know? Like, I had one time this lady comes up and she goes, you know, she had her arms full. She's like, where do I go? What?
The truck stand that's open?
Right?
Maybe.
Go home. Get out of Colorado.
Go fast.
Right? But then I realized, oh, she's wanting to check out. Like, go to a register. What the heck?
Going with people and lights.
Right? What were you saying when somebody's like, is this register open?
Yeah.
Right?
I used to be down, I'd be cleaning or something at a register that was not anywhere near one that was open. And they'd come, are you open? It's like, do you see my light on? No, I'm not open.
Meanwhile, they're unloading their cart.
Yeah.
Like, are you open? I've already answered your question for you. Thanks.
Or they say like, oh, which register's open? The one down there with the light on?
Right. See, normally I'm pretty good at dealing with stupid people. The one thing, I don't know what it is, all the little sayings that everybody has drive me crazy. Like, I know this doesn't bug you as much, but one of the ones that bug me is when something doesn't ring up. When something doesn't ring up and they say,
must be free.
Yeah, must be free then. Must be free then. We're talking about the one where, if you're checking like larger bills, right? Mm-hmm. You're checking larger bills and some old guy, or it doesn't even have to be old, everybody says it. You check a large bill, you look in the light or whatever, and, oh, don't worry about it, I printed it this morning. I've heard that
funny joke
3 times today, like, just drives me crazy. But
another thing that really is frustrating is people who return things. They don't have a receipt, and sometimes it's not even in the system at the grocery store, so you obviously know they didn't purchase it from you. But they are bound and determined to get their money back, and they will fight to the death to get their money back with no receipt, no anything. And usually, most stores, you can't get a return without a receipt.
Right. And they know better.
Yeah.
Yep. They know better. And it's even worse when I remember I was working at like Target or something like that, right? And they have their Target brands and everything, and somebody brings in like a great value something, which is Walmart, and they're like, yeah, I bought this here, and no, you didn't. Yeah, I'm sure I did. I did last week. Yeah. Like, no, you didn't. And after like bantering with them forever, finally they realize, okay, maybe I didn't buy it here. Mm-hmm. Like, why do you have to be a jerk? I know better than you do.
Yeah. You see products on a daily basis.
Right.
You know what's your product and what's not.
And most of us are courteous enough to tell you when we don't know.
Yep.
When we're like, I don't know, let me ask somebody, or, that type of thing. Yeah, it's just crazy, like, how rude people can be.
Oh, yeah. Or another thing, when people return things like a cake, and they eat half their cake, and then they decide that it wasn't good. Or a bag of oranges, they eat 90% of the oranges, and then all of a sudden they realize the oranges are bad. It's like, really? You had to eat the entire thing before you realize it tastes bad?
Right.
Or they bring you an empty container of something that...
This was bad.
This was bad, yeah. What? It's gone.
Right. It must have been really good.
Yeah. It wasn't bad at all.
Yeah, one of the things I really hate is when people talk like, they say like, you should, or as if you should change something, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They're like, your prices are pretty steep.
Yeah.
All right. King Soopers down the road, the price is this. Like, go to King Soopers. Yeah. There's pretty much nothing I can do about it. Some places I know they'll let you give like a 10% discount or a few cents off or whatever. But I'm like not even this far up on the totem pole. Let me call Papa Target and tell him like, hey, Grandpa Target, this guy says our prices are too high. All right, let's change them. Yeah. Like, what do you want me to do?
We have zero control over what the prices are.
Does it make you feel better that you're venting to somebody who's like...
has zero control?
Yeah, zero control. I mean, we're stressed out already. You come in like, what was that haircut? We talked to your manager? Yeah. Let me talk to your manager. Well, they're like this far up on the totem pole. They can't do anything either. Yeah. It's just, I don't get it.
The thing about grocery stores is the employees have zero control with the prices. The store manager, everybody, any of the managers has zero control of what the prices are. Right. So, King Soopers, Target, Walmart, any of those, the prices are the prices.
Right.
And just because you sit there and complain to everybody and their mom, the prices are not going to go down or go up for that matter. Depending on what the prices are of the product wholesale that the company is purchasing is what the prices are going to be for you.
Remember when we were working at that store together and we would close and we turned off all the lights. All the open signs are off. We've been closed for like a half an hour or an hour. We're still trying to get stuff done on the inside. People see lights on, so they come knocking on. Yep. Like, could you open up?
Are you open?
No.
No.
No. I have a family too, Like, I want to go to the store that's actually open and get some stuff done. I don't want to stay here and ring you up for whatever, That stuff drove me crazy, but...
Or the people who, on holidays. Because a lot of stores are open on holidays. And if you happen to have to work on holiday and they come in, oh, I'm so sorry you're open. No, you're not.
You're the reason we're open.
Yeah.
Right.
You're not sorry we're open because
Right.
then where would you get all the stuff that you procrastinated and forgot?
Right. And you could have bought it a week ago.
Yeah.
We were open then.
Yep.
It just drives me crazy.
Yeah. We were open yesterday too. And you didn't get it then, but you're so sorry that we're open on a holiday. No, you're not. Because without us, we wouldn't be able to make your green bean casserole.
Right. Yeah. Have a good holiday, because I'm here.
Yeah.
Like.
Some customers buy you Starbucks stuff, so.
See, that's nice.
Yeah.
But so did you hear the crazy news about Ozzy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of upsets me, Like, he's a crazy guy anyway. Everybody knows he's crazy. He was crazy on drugs. He was crazy back in the day when he was doing his music. I hope I don't make any of his fans upset, but he's not what he used to be. Everybody's diehard fans over him still. But he's not what he used to be, you know what I mean? But for some reason, he thinks that he can cheat on his wife of over 30 years,
And he's been doing it for 6 years.
Right. And she's not even good looking either.
Yeah, and it wasn't just a one-time thing. Like, oops, sorry.
Right.
I accidentally did this. Like, he's been doing this for 6 years with a woman who's 20 years younger than him.
Right. And I think when you're young, it's one thing, because, when you're in your teens, your early 20s, whatever, it's one thing because you feel like invincible, you feel like you're worth something, you feel like vigor, But Ozzy, dude, you're old, you're getting older, your health's bad, and you've done so many drugs, you're gone, you're out of it, you know what I mean? Why would you leave someone? Like, this person's been with you through thick and thin, obviously. So many memories.
For 30 years. I mean, 4 children.
Right. Down the drain. Yeah, 3 or 4 children.
Yeah.
Down the drain. Completely down the drain. And for some reason, he thinks, okay, this person who... And she had cancer, right?
I'm not sure.
I think she does. But I don't want to say, like, for a fact or whatever. But I think she did. But, I mean, you go through all this sickness and in health. Thick and thin. You're together thick and thin. That's what a marriage is about. So they go through all this stuff, and she deals with all his stupid crap. A lot of stupid crap.
Yeah. All his craziness.
Yeah, all his craziness, all their life. And all of a sudden he thinks he's got the, audacity to go cheat on her. You know what I mean? Like, I feel bad for her. I'm sure she's not, the nicest, most sweet woman in the world. I mean, if you were with Ozzy Osbourne, you gotta have some gumption, you know what I mean?
Yep.
But it's just crazy. I don't understand how anybody could do that.
And someone who's been, like you said, by your side for 30 years.
Right.
And someone who's been there for you and, taking care of you, basically, for 30 years.
Right. Yeah.
And you just go throw that all out the window? How do you bounce back from something like that at 63 years old?
Right. See, and it's hard enough to, being with someone for a year. Being with there's some people you get with and you have such a strong connection with them, and you're with them for, I know some people that were just madly in love for 2 months.
Yeah.
But then something came up and they're like, oh my gosh, that's a deal breaker. I love this person to death, but I gotta go. And they're torn up about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
30 plus years.
Yeah.
Just gone. I can't believe it.
And you can't really go out. You can date and stuff, but if you're 63 years old, more than half of your life has been with this other person.
Right.
It's not like you can just the next day, oh, let's go out with this person.
Right.
It's just, you can't bounce back from something like that. And for him to be doing that for 6 years.
Right.
That's 6 years that she could have been getting over him, and who knows even what's going to happen. Are they going to... are they going to break up? I'm sure they are.
So here's what I heard. Here's the rumors, right? And let me say this. She is not okay. I don't want to talk like I'm into cougars or anything. You know what I mean? But I gotta admit, Sharon, for her age, she looks awesome. You know what I mean?
Plastic surgery or not.
Yeah, right. But she does. She looks awesome.
Yeah.
But this other girl who is what? She's like 20 years younger? Yeah, 20 years younger. She doesn't... She's not even like... you have so much money, you're a rock star. You know, you're with Sharon Osbourne who's doing awesome things. Like, you could do so much, and you go for this... hairdresser.
Yeah.
Who doesn't even look that great. Like, we'll put up pictures and stuff, and maybe comparison between the two. Like, what the hell? What is he thinking?
Yep.
You know? Ozzy, man, you gotta stop with the drugs. Because this is what happens. You get with a silly hairdresser. But, so, apparently, you know, we gotta move on pretty quickly. But, apparently, what happened, from what I've heard, is Sharon and her daughter, was it Kelly?
I'm not sure.
I don't remember. I think her name's Kelly. The one that was on the TV show back in the day. They started having suspicions. They traced back in his emails this girl. And Sharon found out about it. And kicked Ozzy out of the mansion. Right? And it's like, whoa, how can you do that? You know, I know Sharon's becoming more wealthy, but Ozzy's the one with all the wealth. You know? She kicks him out of the house. And then Ozzy's got the balls to come back and, like, no, this is my mansion. You know, he probably, like, sobered up or something. This is my mansion. Oh, Sharon! Get out of my mansion! You know, like, so that's the rumor, I guess, is what happened. But I feel bad. You know, I obviously feel bad for anybody married. You know, anybody in a relationship that gets cheated on. And that, you know, that type of thing happens. But I especially feel bad, you know, when they're in the public eye. You know, everybody's got to see it. Everybody's got to know it. Everybody's kind of giving this girl, like, this, you know, oh, we've got your back. Like, oh, don't let all this stuff, you know, twist you, and we're all here for you. I'm sorry. You knew he was married. You know who
everybody does.
Yeah. You know who he is. You know who his wife is. And you have the balls to, you know, I heard she got fired. I heard they took her back. I'm sorry, but you're a celebrity stalker in my eyes.
I heard her boss supported her.
Well,
like, we'll protect you. Like,
protect you from what? Like,
for being a homewrecker?
Yeah.
A 30-year...
Yeah.
You're ruining 30 years.
Right. And you knew very well, and you knew it was going to come out. You knew, you know, it's almost like you wanted it to happen. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You know, and if this didn't go her way and he stays with Sharon, she's probably going to come out and say she's pregnant or something, you know? Because she needs the money. I don't know.
Crazy women do.
But, so now we're going to go to Todd. Todd, how's traffic today?
We should get music.
We should. Oh, wait, what?
What are you going to do for traffic?
It's going to be Todd again. In the car.
Oh, in the car. Oh.
Traffic looks good.
Okay.
What was it? Go ahead.
Oh, I say thanks, Todd.
Yeah, but be like sarcastic. Like, thanks, Todd, for that interesting traffic report.
Thanks, Todd, for that interesting traffic report. Now, on to the joke for the day.
Joke of the day.
Yay!
So I came unprepared. I'm really sorry. I know I came unprepared. You can't look at the answers. I came unprepared. So, did you hear about the guy who invented lifesavers?
I haven't, Zach.
They say he made a mint. Isn't it great?
That's a knee slapper.
I know, right? So a ham sandwich walks into a bar and orders beer. Bartender says, "Sorry, we don't serve food here."
That's a good one.
That is kind of good. Whenever the cashier at the grocery store asks my dad if he would like the milk in a bag, he replies, "No, just leave it in the carton."
That's funny.
That's
Yay!
Yay! So, well, I know where you wanted to go. I know you want to go fun fact of the day, but I had a surprise for you.
Okay.
Because I thought it was crazy. Buku crazy. So, there's a, I don't remember where it was, but it was a meteorite. No, it's a meteorite. It's a meteorite because it sticks to the ceiling, right? Meteorite, it came from the ground. No, it's a meteorite because I guess that's the ones that come once they enter the Earth's atmosphere. It's called a meteorite.
Yeah.
Before that, it's a meteor. I don't know for sure. But apparently there was a huge one. I don't remember which state it was, but have you seen the video?
I haven't.
Yeah, check this out. And we'll put the video up. It's bonkers crazy. If I saw this, I would flip out.
Whoa.
Like, what?
Really?
You know? And then it's like, they have a couple different views. I guess these are all, like, cop cams. But see all the extra lights?
Whoa.
Yeah, wouldn't you flip?
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know? So, I'll try and post these videos up, but, and I'll post some links up, too. I'd be freaking out. Mm-hmm. And the fact that these cars keep going, like, towards it.
A ball of fire just coming out of the sky?
Like, I'm this big, right?
Yeah.
A dinosaur's this big. One of those killed all these guys that are this big. Nope. Like, I'm out of here, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I just had to show you that. I was, I saw these videos and I just flipped. I couldn't believe it. I've seen something like that before.
Really?
Yeah, here in Denver. Nobody talked about it.
My mom's seen some weird stuff too.
It's like UFOs or something, you know. But I can't say that because everybody think you're crazy. But so time for the fun fact of the day.
My favorite part.
I know. I actually, I was gonna look one up, but I'm full of them, But I did hear something really interesting that trumped anything I had. So get this. So we live in Colorado, and we're not condoning drug use or anything like that, but everybody, it's well known that we have recreational marijuana laws in Colorado. People can go and buy marijuana and use it recreationally. So someplace did a study on how much other states are losing out, like money-wise. Can you take a guess?
$1.3 million a year.
Up.
$2 million a year.
You should like quadruple it. No, more than that.
1 billion.
More.
Whoa.
Yeah. So these other states, get this. Zach's fun fact of the day. Other states, by not having recreational marijuana, are losing out on $28 billion a year.
What?
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Oh my gosh.
28 billion. That's with a B. Like 28 billion. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's my fun fact.
Wow.
So, another fun fact. Did you know that there's a guy in a Colorado prison?
In our music news.
Yeah, in our music news. He's claiming to be Prince's son.
I did hear that, along with 1,500 other people.
Right? Like, where does the line begin?
Yeah. Just because he had a lot of money, all of a sudden people want to be related to him.
Right.
But nobody was worried for the last 40 years. And now all of a sudden that there's a lot of money to be claimed, they're all of a sudden all related to him.
See, and that's the thing that bugs me is, wouldn't you just, like, Prince, Daddy, you're my dad.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you do that before?
27 years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
And this guy's, it's kind of a weird situation. Right? Because you think about it, if it's true, whoa.
Crazy.
He's worth like $250 million or something.
Is he?
$250 million on commissary?
Yeah.
That is a lot of donuts.
On commissary?
Well, this guy's in prison. I guess he's got like 6 more years or something. I don't know. He was sentenced to like 7 to 8 years for having an illegal firearm. And so he's in jail. And his mom has always told him back in 1976 when Prince was 18, she and Prince had sex at a hotel, and she didn't have sex with anybody else after that or 6 weeks before that. So it's got to be Prince's son. And the funny part is, this guy has his own music. Nothing like Prince's.
Yeah.
Nothing like Prince's. I wouldn't even look it up. It's not worth it. But, I mean, he does music, but he's in prison. So if it is true and that's his, like, sole heir, that's just going to be a trip. You know?
Well, and why wouldn't his mom have said something prior?
Right. Child support, hello.
Hey, I think your dad is Prince. Maybe you should go get a paternity test.
Right. Or, you know, I'm sorry, but if I'm a woman, if I'm a man or woman that has a kid with somebody and, you know, I would want that person to be in their life. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not going to be in their life, maybe we should figure out how you can at least help me make their life normal. You know? $250 million could help me help our child be normal. You know what I mean? Help me out. So why didn't you say it before? You know?
Yeah.
So it's like, I wonder what's gonna happen when this all pans out. You know, nobody's his son or whatever.
Yeah, I don't think.
You know?
I mean, I honestly don't think he does have any kids or you know. But there's definitely 1,500 people who
what if they
claim
all are?
to be related.
What if they all are? Oh no, they're all gonna have to split the money. And I think he's actually, they say his like house is worth $250 million, but I think he's worth more than that, and he's gaining wealth.
Oh yeah, with all his albums, all his music.
Right.
And did you hear he had a safe in his house? He had a safe, and it was full. Once he passed away, they opened the safe. It was full of music that's never been released.
Right, and that's just crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know he was like a different breed of artist, you know what I mean? A lot of people are just figuring out what songs he wrote, because he would write other songs for other artists and things like that, do collaborations nobody knew.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Unless you really were really into music, or especially into Prince's music, you didn't know. And now people are coming to find out, you know. I was never a big fan of him musically, but I was a big fan of him, his genius, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was, you know, now I'm figuring out more and I'm having more appreciation for him.
Oh, me too.
You know, it's crazy. And to have a vault full of music.
He could have made over 100 albums with the amount of music he had in this vault.
Right. I just wish it was in an era. I'm not saying I wish he died sooner. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I wish they had this music out in an era where it was like, there were good artists.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, not to dog on all the artists of today, but you're nothing compared to the classics, you know, and there's no Michael Jacksons, you know, there's no Elvis Presleys, there's no, you know, like, there's no Hank Williams Seniors, there's none of that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's no really, really great artists. I'd say 90% of the people on the radio now are not going to be in history books or anything like that.
Oh, no.
You know?
Definitely
so
not.
what are they going to take these albums and, like, what, let Lil Wayne get on it? Like, yeah.
Yeah, and you can't understand anything anybody says.
Right. So I think it's just sad that he's got all this music that he didn't do himself. Because now it's just going to be like Britney Spears makes Prince's album. You know? But, yeah, it's just bonkers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it. But, you know, speaking of kids, though, what about that girl who was babysitting those two kids? Not even really babysitting.
Yeah. What was it, a 6-year-old and a 1-year-old or something?
Yeah, something like a 9-year-old and a 1-year-old. And she goes to pick them up from school. Yeah, 7
years old.
7 years old and 1.5-year-old.
Yeah.
And they're her sisters, right? Or cousins.
Oh, sure.
Anyway, she was watching these kids, right? 7 and 1.5. She went to go pick them up from school. And then the story is just crazy. I don't get how anybody could think about this. So apparently she's been in trouble with the law before. She has to pay $15,000 to the courts. So how does she think she's going to pay the courts? She's going to go rob a bank, right?
Yeah.
But she doesn't want to rob the big bank. And by the way, this happened in Denver, or in Colorado.
In Colorado, yeah.
So she doesn't go rob a big bank. She goes robs a bank by her house. So she goes and picks up these kids, buys them a couple lollipops, takes them to the bank, stops before she gets to the bank, gets out, takes off her license plates, goes up to the bank.
Writes a note.
Writes a note. Like, we're being held hostage. We need money.
Yeah. Well, because there's a guy in the back seat.
Yeah, he's going to hurt these little girls.
Yep.
So, the teller gives him $500. She, instead of, like, going someplace safe, parking your car in a garage even, like, anything, you know, she takes the kids to the park, puts her license plates back on, goes home, and thinks everything's going to be cool. Mind you, she's 28 years old.
Yeah.
This isn't just like a little girl anymore, you know?
Well, and the note had said that there was a man in the back seat. Right. And the man was going to hurt us and the little girls if the bank teller did not give her the money. Well, there was no man in the back seat. It was her and this poor little 7-year-old and 1-year-old in the car.
Right.
Thinking that they're just with their sweet little babysitter who happens to be robbing a bank.
And they're just sucking on a lollipop.
Yeah. Well, their babysitter's robbing a bank.
I love our babysitter, don't you? Yeah, she's great. Like, oh, she's giving us $500. Yeah. Like, what is this? What's this world coming to? You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, it's just bonkers. You know, something I did want to touch on that was pretty important to me. I know we didn't really have it on our agenda, but I'm going to touch on it every time we do a show until it's over. I hear advertisements all the time. I'm sure you guys have heard advertisements all the time. We are in Colorado. We are in election season. We kind of want to stay away from politics as much as possible. But this is an issue that's pretty important to me, and Jess supports me on it. I know she does. But one of the big things that's going on the ballot within the state right now is the liquor laws. Mm-hmm. Basically, what the big companies are trying to do is they're trying to bash on all the little companies, say they're doing illegal things, they're not doing things right, and it's more convenient for customers to come buy all their groceries and buy their full liquor. I don't know if anybody knows, in Colorado, you can't go to any store and buy full-strength liquor, right? And you can't buy beer.
Full-strength beer.
Full-strength beer. You can't buy any liquor at a grocery store, but the beer is 3.6% alcohol. It's basically like flavored water.
Yeah.
3.2. Yeah, 3.2% alcohol. And it's like flavored water. So a lot of people from out of the state, again, we hate you, but you're coming here trying to make it more like your homes. Please don't, because I don't know if you've noticed your homes. You probably don't really have any more mom and pop shops or anything like that. It's a pretty big deal. A lot of people are thinking, oh, it's not that big of a deal. Like, yeah, vote yes. I'd love to go get my...
It's a huge deal.
Right. I'd love to go get my groceries and my liquor in one spot, you know?
Well, and everyone knows that is convenient. But it's not about convenience.
Right.
It's about common sense and supporting all the little shops and all the breweries and...
Right.
You know, I mean, there's so much going on for Colorado and so many new beers and and things being made and these little shops who've been owned by the same couple for the last 50 years.
Mom and pop shops.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
And I'm sorry, but selling at a grocery store, yeah, that's convenient, but it's not the right thing to do.
Right. And you're basically, and the funny thing is all these big grocers, they don't have a home base in Colorado. Mm-mm. So the local aspect of this is gone. Like, they completely take all that money, they send it back to their respective state.
Yeah.
And I think Walmart's like Arkansas.
Is it?
You know, so like all that money goes there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
no grocery stores are from Colorado.
Well, you know, and the other thing that really gets me is if I invent something, right? If I invent something, or if I make a product, or if I make a juice, or if I make a certain Gatorade or whatever, you know, if I want it on a store shelf and I want it at Walmart, I have to fly to Walmart, make them test it, and if they like it, they'll think about it, and then they'll put it in one of their stores and test it there, and if it works well, they might put it in a region, but if it doesn't, they'll take it off the store shelves and that's it.
Yeah. Right
now in Colorado, if I make a nice beer, I can literally walk up to any, as long as I have the right licenses, I can literally go to any liquor store and say, hey, look, try this. Yeah. Put it on your shelves. I'll give you a great price or whatever, you know. Or I could say, you know, hey, you know, it cost me this much to make it. You know, it's really good. Put it on your shelf. A lot of people, that's how these small breweries are thriving. They don't have to go out of state and do that, you know. And basically what's going to happen is it's just going to be all Coors and Budweiser.
Yeah.
Everything's going to have to be Coors and Budweiser.
Oh, yeah.
All the small breweries are going to have to sell their brews to Coors and Budweiser.
Yeah.
All the big liquors, it's just going to be the same thing. Nobody's going to be able to make new stuff.
And they're not going to have little teeny companies in big grocery stores because they're not popular.
Right.
Well, in liquor stores, they are.
Right.
Because you have the different types of people coming in and buying different types of beer.
Right.
And alcohol. But in a grocery store, when there's limited variety, I mean...
And shelving.
Yeah.
When you have a liquor store that's devoted to all the liquor, they can have all the liquor.
Yeah.
But a grocery store's not going to do that. But I'm not sure exactly what's going on in the Denver legislation. Last time I heard, they were passing a law that would allow it to slowly be legal. But this is before the ballot. This is before the people are speaking and saying, no way.
Yeah.
You know, no way we're going to let this happen. We're not going to let big business trick us into doing this. So Colorado legislation is kind of like handing it over to them almost. It's really upsetting me. I'm not exactly sure where that is. But if it still ends up on the ballot, please make sure that these local liquor stores, your local liquor stores, and your local breweries, brew pubs, people with dreams of owning liquor stores or making their own beer or making their own wine or having these things, make sure they can survive. Because if you vote to pass that, you're going to be crushing hundreds, if not thousands, of people's dreams. You know, it's crazy. I just wanted to touch on that, and I'll touch on it every time we do a show, just because it's important to me. I think Jess will let me do that, but mostly we'll stay away from politics.
Well, and keep also your friends and your local places that you've made friends in, keep them in mind when you're thinking about your convenience and how great it would be to get your groceries at the same place you can get your alcohol. Well, maybe you could make an extra stop to support your friend or your neighbor.
Right.
Or people that you like, that you want them to be able to survive in life. Because if this law passes, their dreams are crushed.
Right.
And so is their business.
Yeah. Think about it this way. Like, if you can walk up to them and tell them, I'm going to vote for a law that gets you fired.
Yeah.
You know.
You're not their friend.
Yeah. That's basically what you're doing.
Yep.
You know, but on a lighter note, you know, our last segment, I wanted to kind of do something fun. So I saw this in the grocery store yesterday. Brand new, I'm assuming. And I'll put a picture of this. You guys probably can't see this. This is a Boyd's Coffee from Portland, Oregon. And Boyd's Coffee, I'm sorry, I haven't tried your coffee. I'm not trying to dog on you. But whoever's doing your advertising, they need to shape it up. You need new advertisers.
This is some weird advertising.
Right? So, today, we have Boyd's French number 6.
Ooh.
Like, number 6, what is that? It sounds like something made in a scientific lab, you know? Like
Number 5.3.
Number 5 did not work. We need number 6. Let's do these. Like,
And next week, number 7.
right? What is this? So if this one doesn't
Number
sell,
6.
number 7 will come out. You
Yep.
know? Well, number 5 was too deadly. Number 7 might be a little too calm. Number 6 is perfect. You know, but the thing that got me about this is I thought, you know, I saw French number 6. That's a stupid thing. I mean, a lot of coffees give it a number, which is fine.
For their, like, potency.
For the potency, which is fine. But when I saw French number 6, all right, French number 6, like, that's kind of weird. So now, to the credit of the advertisers, it did catch my attention. The reason I would never buy this product, though, is because when it says flavor, intoxicating aroma, seductive and sweet, right? Okay, it's not a flower, it's a coffee.
You're so sweet.
I know. It's not like, it's not like softcore porn or anything like that. Like, it's a coffee. It's a coffee. You know, and then to add on to that, and we'll try and put a picture of this, to add on to that, they have, like, this half picture of this little girl who, I don't know, it looks like she got bruises around her eyes, or like, you know, she looks like a little Girl Scout.
Yep.
That's been up for like 3 weeks because she drank French number 6.
It is a creepy picture.
Right. How can you put this little girl on here and be like, oh, intoxicating aroma, seductive and sweet. Like, gross. What is this? This is so wrong in so many ways. But, you know, take a look at this. Tell us what you think. You know, and this is our first show. So if you have any weird news that you want us to talk about, if you have any cool stories that you want us to talk about, we're going to try and post every Friday. We'll keep some links below of where we, you know, what we're doing. Shoot us an email. Tell us, you know, some of your stories. If you see some weird advertisements, send them to us. If you want to tell a story or you want to come on this morning, then come on our show with us and we can chat. So I think it's been fun for the first episode.
It's been very fun.
Yeah? How should we end this?
And this is This Morning with Zach and Jess. This is our morning.
Right?
With Zach and Jess.
And this morning is This Morning with Zach and Jess.
This morning.
How about this? That's good.